I am Ramona, and welcome to Ramona Interviews. Today we're going to talk about illness and emotion. And I'm going to leave it to George to talk about this. He has an expertise in it that I do not, although I have an intuitiveness. I think George is a great counterbalance. Welcome back, George.
Thanks so much, Ramona. What I want to talk about today is the connection between emotions and illness. One of the things I learned on my journey is how important your emotions are when it comes to your body, and actually stored emotions. Many things that modern physicians today somewhat understand, but may not understand the true depth of emotions and illness. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we address those things and how they can affect you both positively and negatively, both as a healthy individual and somebody with health challenges. So this is a very important subject that I think really needs to get out there. One of the things I learned through my journey was that how powerful your mind can be over your body. And I had touched in previous segments when we've interviewed before about how the body reacts to your mind, your emotions, how you're feeling at that time. We know from modern allopathic scientific medicine that somebody who is in stress all the time releases cortisol into the body, and it changes everything. Your sleep patterns, in many cases it could cause weight gain. There's a lot of physiological effects that happen when somebody is under stress. Somebody who is ill all the time, folks with chronic health challenges like myself, we're under a lot of stress, some more than others. Getting to that place of high thoughts, high vibrations. My friend Maureen Hancock, who I've mentioned in other segments, who discusses the light and high vibrations, the sadness and the bad thoughts are low vibrations. So being in high thoughts, high vibrations. When we talk even in the Bible about Christ, the light around God, as an example, is a very high vibration. There's stories about when Jesus came into towns, how everybody in the town was acutely aware that something was different because of the energy and the high vibration that God puts out. Then they also talk about the low vibrations, about darkness, about bad thoughts, and reoccurring those thoughts. So some of the things I've learned, my grandfather used to say this years ago, you cannot drive a car looking in the rearview mirror. You have to look through the windshield. We have to look ahead. But what do? We tend to look behind and ahead, and it wraps us up. One of your previous guests, Dawn Garabedian, who I love her book, talks about living in the present and the present moment and how important that is. When we don't look in the present and we tend to look back because that's our historical nature, or we worry about what's coming, it cripples us. And I think you can relate to that because we know people, everybody has it, right, where we tend to reflect back because that's our memory and our history, and then we worry about what might come, and we get those butterflies in our stomach, right? So when you wrap this up with somebody who has challenges emotionally, physically, just even intellectually sometimes, trying to get them back in that centered place inside of themselves where they can step away. I call it the 30,000-foot flight, where you can say, okay, George, you're up here, and this is you down there. And you kind of look at yourself and say, okay, there's your situation. If you can remove yourself that one standard deviation, it's incredibly powerful because you're no longer in that box. Sometimes we get trapped in that box and we can't see any way out of that box, which I did. When I first was ill, it was, oh, woe is me. I can't believe this. What am I going to do with my family? How am I going to survive? What are we going to do? I'm not the dad anymore. My family's changed. We're separated. Who's going to take care of my kids?
But that's all normal to go through that. I mean, you have to in a way. I mean, that's the reality of life.
It is.
Are you just saying you don't live there? Is that what you're saying?
What
I'm
saying
is you just don't live in those things?
No, I'm saying you have to go through these processes, But if you can see outside the other side of it, okay, and the people that come into your life that'll let you know, I speak about it in my book, Angels Walking With Us. There'll be people who come into your life that will help and lift you up. They're helpers. They're helping angels, okay? So everything happens for a reason. My beliefs are there is a God. We're in a divine order. Dr. Wayne Dyer talks about it in his book. He's a very famous author. I think he once said that he was the third most spiritual person recognized in the world, that everything happens for a reason. You can embrace things, look at it, and then move on, or you can own it, okay, and self-deprecate yourself and drive yourself down. So you're going to go into low vibrations. So we want to always try to be in high vibrations, which brings me to the next point about being with people of light. Obviously, you have tremendous light, and we're drawn to each other for that reason. So high vibrations, think alike. It doesn't mean we don't have those challenges that you just spoke of, because it's normal for people to react that way, right? We have feelings of hurt. We have feelings of jealousy. We have all types of feelings, feelings of love. Feelings come and go, and emotions come and go in a human being. If you read the Bible, even Jesus cried before he raised Lazarus from the dead. He cried that his friend was dead. So, these eyewitness accounts, because we know that it was written 30 to 70 years after his death, when they see these emotions, humans have emotions. And it's not bad to have an emotion, it's what you do with that emotion and how you help yourself, possibly through other people, right? Because you feel good when you go by and you make a donation, maybe at the holiday time, or you belong to some institution, right? And you write the check, or you bake some cookies for somebody, or you mow somebody's lawn, or you just smile and wave at somebody. It could be that innocuous. It could be a smile, or opening a door for somebody. Whatever it is, it actually helps you. So many of the charitable things that we do as human beings often help others. You, through these interviews, helping people, getting the word out on different things, helps you. So people don't realize that it's a reflective interaction, okay? It's somewhat symbiotic, right? You help me, I help you. And that's what makes the world go round.
Makes it go round in a holistic approach.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the book and the website.
My book is Angels Walking With Us. Website is www.angelswalkingwithus.net. Book of faith, hope, and miracles. It's a great book to read and then pass on to anybody else. I have a charity which I give part of the money to that I run, and would hope that everybody would pick it up and read it. It's a great book.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
I am Ramona, and you've been watching Ramona Interviews. Have a wonderful week.